Howdy, my name is Nonat, and this is a video I didn't plan on making. There's no script, there's no subject, it's just sort of me. A sort of check-in, a sort of, hey, hello, hi, I do still exist, and I appreciate your patience over here on YouTube. This video is going to be a little weird. I'm going to try to edit out the dead air, but there might not be a flow, there might not be a through line. I don't know if you've ever known this about me, I get distracted easily. This is a check-in, because it's officially day 50 of Nonat November. And there's still over 400 hours on the clock. And for a lot of you, that's a really big reason to cheer and rejoice and be super, super happy. Myself included, but I'll get to that in a little bit. I think for a lot of you, it's going to be frustrating to hear. And I understand that, because I haven't uploaded to YouTube in a month. And the one video I finally am uploading is about the Subathon, so most of you aren't going to care or watch, which is fine. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a completely different type of content. It would be like me saying, hey, I'm making Monster Hunter content on the Nonat1's YouTube channel. You should watch it. You know, I don't expect you to. I appreciate you letting me, though. But, like I said, I'm so ecstatic that there's still so many hours on the clock. If you've ever been live with me, you'll hear me like screaming or freaking out, like, no, don't donate this much, that's crazy. And in the moment, it's only half facetious, because in the moment I'm like, oh my god, this is happening, this is crazy, this is wild. But in reality, I couldn't be happier. I'm getting to do something that I wanted to do since I was literally 16 years old. And that's play games and perform at the same time for people and make a living wage doing that. And that's been mind-blowing to think about, especially when we go back 3 times over the course of the Subathon. We've gone back and watched some of my 2011 YouTube content. Please, it's privated. Don't watch it. It's not good. Don't look for it. But one video struck with me. We watched it about 3 weeks ago. It was just sort of me talking. I was 20 years old at the time. 21, I think. No, not even 21. I was 20. And it was me talking about how it might be time to give up. You know, at that point, I had been at the YouTube game for about 5 years and had 400 subscribers. And in that video, you know, I teared up a little bit back then recording it. And when I talked about, it's the same person, when I talked about giving up, knowing that I probably can't keep doing this for no reason, it was hard to watch, but also very, very fulfilling and prideful for me as an individual. It made me feel, I wish I could say complete, but depression, anxiety, and imposter syndrome says that's not possible. But it made me feel really, really fulfilled, which is a rare feeling for me. I'm sure you've heard this from 1,000 different videos, from 1,000 different YouTubers with 1,000 copies of the same sad Undertale music playing under this video. Which, by the way, speaking of Undertale, which is snow, which is... Happy holidays. You know, that's not related to this video here or there. I'm gonna hope to get something else out to you, because I don't want you to feel just completely ignored this holiday season, but happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, or even if you don't celebrate. I'm happy you're here with me right now. If you're watching this video, chances are I'm actually live on Twitch. If you want to come hang out and say hi, say happy holidays, whatever, would love to have you over there. Link in the description. I was going somewhere with this, and now it's gone. Oh, but the imposter syndrome, it's just so real, and it's so hard to explain in terms that haven't been heard 1,000 times, you know? Oh, I don't feel like I'm doing enough. Oh, I feel overworked. Oh, I don't feel this. Oh, I don't feel that. I wish I could just open a window here and just, like a movie, project my thoughts and insecurities on the wall to share, because putting them into words is so damn hard. This video's for me. This video is for me, and I'm happy to let you in and watch it. I guess, in a way, this is a similar video that I want to look back on 10 years from now. However long. All of my videos I want to be able to look back on 10 years from now. Hell, we looked back on some of my early Nonat stuff during this Subathon, And, you know, seeing me from 4 years ago covering Pathfinder, doing comedy skits, I want to do comedy skits again so bad. They were so fun. At the moment, you know, they never performed as well as the guides, whatever, because I'm stuck in my niche and the algorithm feeds people what the algorithm will feed people, which for my channel is, I guess, educational Pathfinder content. But that's not all I want to do, you know? I'm actually, jealous isn't the right word, but I've been really inspired by a lot of people lately. Yesterday I actually got to just hang out with Joe Cat and their friend Fume on stream. It was fun. We just played Path of Exile and chatted for a while. And there was a lot of chatting about unfinished projects and imposter syndrome, how to get started, how to keep going, which not enough people talk about, burnout, self-fulfillment. Joe was really, really kind to share Hank Green's 80% rule, which is something I'm going to start trying to live by more, I think. I am definitely a perfectionist at heart. I've tried to be better about not being perfect, but I think my problem, and the 80% rule, just to shorten it, is when your project is 80% done, consider it done. Don't fret trying to finalize that last 20% because you're going to burn yourself out. It will not be worth the extra effort you put in, and chances are it's already better than you think it is. And so that's sort of what I'm trying to wrap my head around, because I've always considered myself a perfectionist, but I've always sort of thought I live by this 80% rule, but upon more introspection and thought and whatnot, like, I'm very clearly not. I think I can better describe it as my perfection is 120%. My perfection, my perfect project, is something I could never achieve with my limited understanding of lighting and editing and camera angles and lack of hardware and lack of experience and all of that. You know, I'm not going to be able to make a cinematic masterpiece intro gag for the Swashbuckler Guide. But I always wanted to, and I always tried to, until I stopped, and I'll get to that if I remember to. I don't have notes or anything, but I think what I've been, so like I said, my perfect is 120%, and then I put out videos that I think are like 95, 99%, maybe 100%, so it feels like I'm sacrificing, 25% of the quality. Now I'm happy with it. But especially when it comes to things I put a lot of time and effort into, I think I still work and worry too hard, and a lot of this is preemptively. I feel like I'm not explaining this well. I feel like I'm coming across as, oh, my projects are perfect. It's not true at all. A lot of my recent projects especially have just been me talking to the camera, explaining the game, while also doing a funny haha occasionally. No, I guess what I'm more trying to get my point across as is these are projects that I see my perfect 120%. And I say, okay, maybe I can do it like this and drop it to an attainable 100%. And then I still say, I don't think I can do that. Or I don't think it's worth the time to do that. A really, really good example of this is the effort and time and stress and reward for making a completely custom comedy skit is nothing compared to how much less effort, how much less time, how much less stress, and how much more reward there is from opening up a playtest and saying, here is the runesmith. The runesmith traces runes and blows them up at the end. You know? It may seem weird because a comedy skit is 2 minutes long and a playtest guide or a class guide or whatever is an hour and a half long. But trust me, that hour and a half editing it's nothing. It's mind-numbing, sure, but it's just cutting out dead air and lining up pages. That's it. That's all there is to it. And because it's longer, the YouTube algorithm rewards it. Longer watch time equals more showing on the algorithm, equals more views, equals more ad views, equals more revenue. Whereas a 2.5 minute comedy skit, if I spend an hour writing it, and then an hour recording it, and then 2 to 3 hours editing those 2 minutes, maybe more, depending on how complex it gets, and all that jazz, only for it to get, 3,000 views and minuscule watch time because it's a 2-minute long video, which doesn't even qualify for ads. It qualifies for a pre-roll, but let me tell you right now, a 10,000 views on, like, a 2-minute video is, like, $20. It is, like, $10 to $20. It's pathetic. But it's what I want to do. I'm an actor at heart. I'm not a teacher. I've never wanted to be a teacher. I've never tried to be a teacher. You know, when people get mad at me for misreading something in a book, I understand the frustration, but I think it's targeted and aimed the wrong way. I've never once claimed to be the defender. I'm not Archives of Nethys, you know? I'm not Archives of Nethys. I'm a guy who enjoys playing these games. And that's what I've always wanted to come across as. And if you say that you've never sat down at a table and misread a rule to one of your friends before, you're lying. I just have to do it, whatever, 600 times. And yeah, I'm going to get stuff wrong because I'm reading every rule in the book. But that's not what this video is about, sorry. It's just gotten hard. Between the comments, between the lack of reward for the effort. Yeah, on that same subject of reward for the effort, like, I'm not saying, like, my live streams, my subathons have been some of the most rewarding things I've done in a long time. November was the best month of my life in the last 5 years, at least, if not more. November was the month I finally felt like I was doing what I set out to do as a teenager. I did it. And it was awesome. And I don't get that from YouTube much anymore. And I think it's because YouTube has become much more of a... I don't even want to say of a job. Because streaming is a job. Right now, my subathon is a job. I've been working 80-hour weeks for 50 days in a row. And I love it. Granted, you know, it's only been, 6 months since I returned to streaming and 2 months of the subathon. But, and if YouTube was doing better, as a whole, I don't think I'd be feeling as much this way. And I'm not trying to blame the platform either. I want to be very clear. A lot of this is my fault. Yes, a lot of this is my fault. There were a lot of things that happened in the last 3 years that I could not control, that were outside of my control, that I'm not going to get into here. A lot of it is things I could have done better. I could have done differently. I could have done more diligently. I could have paid more attention to. I could have reached out more. I could have collaborated more. I could have done more. But I'm trying not to waste as much brain space on what could have been. I'm still trying to learn from it. And I'm applying it forward. And it's hard. It's really hard. Streaming has been so much more rewarding. I feel like I've cultivated an actual community that I can engage with. There's a community around my videos. There's a community in my Discord server. There's a community of some kind in my comments that I don't know because I can't really read the comments anymore because every 4 comments is some vitriolic hate speech about this system versus that system, or Paizo's gone woke, or this is stupid, or you got this wrong, or this isn't what I'm here for, or I put up with the lot. That does so much to a person. If you've left comments like that, I want you to take a step back and think about it. I'm almost 30 years old. I'm allowed to be a dad. I'm dadding you right now. I want you to take a step back and think about it. What are you expecting to change? Who are you trying to impress? And by insulting someone, do you really think they're going to even want to listen to you? Think about the person on the other end, Not even me. This is just saying, going forward. You've already left the comments in the past. Forget those. Going forward, other creators. Why? Well, you realize you're not the only person doing that, right? You realize that these creators, even someone of my size who only gets about 7,000 views a video on average, I get to see dozens of these comments. That's why I can't read them anymore. Because it was taxing on my mental health. I couldn't handle it. And that's part of what killed YouTube for me. I'm not even gonna lie. Once I had to stop reading comments, YouTube stopped being, oh, look at all these cool people watching my video, reacting to my video, having an impact from my video. It became, wow, look at that viewer analytic number. Look at that watch time. Look at that like ratio. It hasn't felt like I've made a YouTube video for people in a long time. But every time I'm live streaming, every time I'm on Twitch, I know I'm talking to people. I'm responding to people. I'm having conversations with people. And the great thing about Twitch, since it's all live, all at once, someone comes in, someone's a bad egg, someone causes an issue, they're banned. They're timed out. They get a warning. We can stop that. We can cultivate this healthy, safe place. And it's really, really nice. And it's something I haven't had on YouTube in a long time. There's a reason I don't stream on YouTube anymore. The YouTube streams, they weren't as bad, but first off, YouTube's not built for streaming. Streaming on YouTube sucks. There's so little integration, there's so little API. YouTube was built as a video platform, not as a streaming platform. Streaming on YouTube is awkward as hell, and I don't plan to do it anymore. All streams will be on Twitch. I just feel like Twitch is giving me a lot more of what I need right now, including revenue. I mean, I'm not going to give exact numbers here because I don't want to make people uncomfortable. I've made more money on Twitch in the last 6 months than I have on YouTube in years. It's just the fact of it. I'm enjoying it more. I'm making more money. I'm happier. I'm enjoying the process a whole lot more. I feel creatively free. I can do cool, fun things. I can hang out with people and collaborate with other creators, you know? Like, again, I get to play video games with my friend Luis a ton. I've gotten to bring some of my real life friends on stream who have become recurring characters on stream, which is so much fun. You know, I'm still getting to hang out. I got to hang out with Logan when we checked out the Runesmith. I'm gonna try to turn that into a video. We recorded that last week. I'm trying to get it into a video, but it's been hard to work up any motivation to edit lately. I'll be real. Editing is the worst part. And you might say, just hire an editor, and that's expensive. That's expensive. When a video on average makes about $75, I can't exactly pay an editor $100 to edit it. But yeah, I got to hang out with Logan. I got to hang out with all my real life friends over and over and over again. I got to hang out with Joe and Fume yesterday. It's been amazing. I feel so much more free to explore myself and my content and my creativity on stream because the people on stream are there for me. They're not there for Pathfinder. And I'm not trying to say I'm upset that you're here for Pathfinder, because especially that's what I built my brand on. I built No Nat Ones on Pathfinder. I covered Pathfinder. I talked about Pathfinder. Everything about this channel, aside from my silly, goofy personality, has always been Pathfinder. And there are some of you out there who come here for me, and I appreciate you. I really, really do. Those of you who watch the comedy skits, those of you who just enjoy my content, thank you, sincerely. I wish it was a majority. And maybe it is, and I'm just overlooking things, but you know, there's no real way to tell. There's no real way to say, yes, this is a majority thing. It's hard. YouTube has become very faceless, and Twitch, I have personalities and people to each username that types in my chat, each regular who swings by every day. All of you, I see you. You make me so happy every time you show up. I can't thank you enough for letting me do this for so long. We're on day 50. We're guaranteed to go till at least day 70, and that's with nobody else donates again, which, keep your eyes out. Saturday the 28th, Holiday Spectacular. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. I haven't even, scheduled it out or planned anything. It's going to be fun, though. I'm not giving up on YouTube. I'm not quitting. I'm not going anywhere, but especially while the Subathon's going, I think uploads are still going to be pretty sporadic. And I appreciate you letting me do that, because it's the most creatively fulfilled I've felt in a long, long time. Once the Subathon's over, I will be uploading chunks of things to a second channel, No Nat Frontier. Again, I'll leave a link in the description. It's a second channel. There's some Monster Hunter stuff up there right now from when I was streaming earlier this year. I wish I had the time to edit the Subathon down into chunks I could upload to the second channel, but then 20% of the Subathon would just be me editing and working on videos of stuff that people just watched, and that's not good content. That's not what people want to see. So it's finding a balance. It's finding a balance. Especially once the Subathon, if the Subathon ends, we'll see. Once it ends, and tax season rolls around, and I know where I stand financially, and I've paid off all my loans and debts, and I know how much I have and how much I'm going to be making, then I might put thought into hiring an editor and working on the YouTube channel and exploring it. But right now, the stream is my focus. If you really want more No Nat, come on over. It's a very safe place. It's a very fun place. I love every day I get to spend on there. 12 hours a day, 9 a.m. Pacific to 9 p.m. Pacific. It's 12 to midnight Eastern. To all of you who are not throwing a fuss and are just saying, hey, he's doing his thing, and that's okay. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I probably had more I wanted to say in this video, but like I said, there's no script, there's nothing. When I look over here, I'm just looking at my Audacity. I'm looking at my audio waveform bouncing. Yeah, I'm sure there's hours more of stuff I could say, how I've been feeling. because it hasn't been perfect. You know, I've had ups and downs. The last like 3 days I've been in a really weird emotional funk, but I think I'm finally coming out of it. And this sort of like video journaling I think helps a lot too. So maybe I'll do more of this. You know, I'm not putting a lot of effort into this. It's just me talking to a camera about stuff. Screw it. It's 2009 YouTube. DFTBA, everybody. Don't forget to be awesome.